Capitalism versus socialism, the rich versus poor choice. Your 20s are a time of big decisions. You're thinking about inviting an economist for coffee, but you can't find the right conversation starter. The eternal debate between capitalism and socialism can work just fine. But only if you understand what the two systems are and how they influence a country's economy and social structure. If you appreciate the video, we invite you to subscribe to our channel and support us with a donation. Thanks to your help, we will be able to continue producing high-quality content and constantly improving our channel. You can do it here below, through the appropriate buttons, subscribe, and thanks. This is what we'll cover in today's video. Is capitalism really as evil as it's been painted? Does socialism solve all problems? What is realistic capitalism? Stay tuned, you might even get a second date. Society is made up of several fundamental pillars. Society is based on the exchange of goods and services necessary for the economy in exchange for money or, in the case of barter, other goods and services, such as exchanging corn for meat. To meet demand, capital goods are used to provide these products. Examples of capital goods are the equipment and labor needed by a company to print a book. Most societies recognize and value the need for education, both formal and informal. Education aims to provide new generations with the skills necessary to survive in a growing environment. Capitalist and socialist systems present different ways in which society can be organized to meet the needs of the individuals who inhabit it. The main factor that distinguishes the two systems is the entity that controls the main means of production. My friend Chad's favorite breakfast is eggs and toast. The two main ingredients he needs to start the day with a smile are eggs and bread. There are different ways in which bread and eggs reach him. In capitalist societies, eggs are provided by local farmers who raise 300 chickens and employ 2 farm laborers. Bread is brought to the grocery store from the state capital, where there's a national bread supplier. Chad gets his supplies from this grocery store. Therefore, the main owners of the means of production are ordinary citizens, farmers, and company shareholders. For example, the farmer saving for his son's college education, or the shareholder of a baking company who wants to receive a dividend at the end of the year. These private means of production are also the source of most employment in the country. A farmer employs 2 workers to take care of his chickens. The baking company, on the other hand, employs a driver, a cook, an accountant, and a CEO. These employees depend on the baking company for their economic livelihood. In socialist societies, the government is the main employer and owns the main means of production. In communist societies, however, the means of production are collectively owned, as there is no employer. This aspect will be explained a little later. A common feature of capitalist societies is high inequality in income distribution. Those who own the means of production get greater value for their efforts and time compared to those who work under them. For example, a farmer and his farmhand may spend the same amount of time raising chickens, but the farmer earns more for his time than the farmhand. The same goes for a driver working for a baking company and the major shareholder who owns 43% of the company. Education also plays a significant role in income distribution. Those with higher education can earn more because they possess skills that are in high demand in the market. In capitalist societies, quality education is primarily provided by private institutions, but because the cost of education is often high for everyone, just think of the farmer saving for his son's college education, only some people are able to access education. Consequently, people with low income are not even able to acquire skills that are in high demand in the market. All these factors increase the gap between rich and poor. Consider the United States. 7% of the population owns about 80% of the wealth in America. To learn more about this gap between rich and poor, watch the video The Growing Wealth Inequality in the World and the United States. This wide disparity between rich and poor is one of the main problems identified by critics of capitalism. The wealth of the rich grows day by day, only to be inherited by their children and their children's children. Imagine if the wealth of a company worth billions grows faster than a country's GDP, how much will it be worth in a few generations? And how would it rank compared to the overall economy? In a capitalist society, the price of goods and services circulating in the economy is a factor of their production costs. It's a factor of production costs and consumption patterns. High prices of goods are often due to high production costs and high demand. For example, if more people buy bread from national suppliers, the company can raise prices to get higher profits. However, Chad likes low-cost bread, so if this happens, he might switch to a local bakery or start his own bakery to counter the company. This is the economic freedom enjoyed by capitalist societies. If you have an idea, the means to finance it, and it's legal, nothing can stop you. Consumers can also enjoy a range of goods and services at different prices. That's why Chad can easily switch from a national baker to a local baker. Capitalism promotes innovation. This is because companies are always looking for ways to reduce costs and increase sales. The invention of new technologies also helps improve the quality of manufactured products, with the aim of outperforming competitors. Quality is a good selling point, but only if it's what consumers want. Finally, when the economy is under stress, capitalist economies react differently from socialist ones. In a socialist society, the government tries to support the population in times of economic hardship through large-scale employment, even if wages are not commensurate with the amount of work done by workers. Capitalist economies self-regulate unless the government intervenes. Self-regulation means that companies cut jobs and adopt other cost-cutting measures, which leads to mass unemployment. Let's now look at what a socialist society looks like. The main goal of socialism is to promote equality among citizens. The social and institutional structure of this society differs significantly from that of capitalist societies, as the main means of production are owned by the government. For example, suppose there's a company that produces most of the clothes consumed by the population. This company belongs to the government, which hires the individuals who work there, making the government the employer and manager of capital. In this system, private citizens can also start and run businesses. However, it would be difficult to start a new business due to strict regulations and high taxes. Since the government is the main employer, socialist governments can create large-scale employment in times of economic hardship. This is to promote equal income for all members of society. This equality is further promoted by providing free healthcare and education to the population. The main disadvantage of socialist countries is that they are vulnerable to authoritarians who are unwilling to give up power. This is because economic and social power is concentrated in one place, making it easier to control the country as a whole. However, most countries are neither completely socialist nor capitalist. Even self-proclaimed socialist countries, like Venezuela, have capitalist elements. Similarly, even strongly capitalist countries like the United States exhibit aspects of socialism. As positive as socialism may seem, capitalism promotes technological invention. Socialism in a capitalist economy usually aims to counteract the effects of inequality. Examples of this are free education and universal health care. We are interested in discovering your personal experience on the topic. Write it in the comments and feel free to ask any questions, we will be happy to interact. Feel free to leave a comment so that we can improve the content. Your like would be the cherry on top, and click subscribe to stay informed about upcoming publications.